Now, it's the Union Minister for Women and Child's Development who has quoted yet another controversy, Menaka Gandhi, blaming the film industry for surge in crime against women. This statement has led to a fuming debate between the activists and the film fraternity. But can a minister blame Bollywood for rising crime against women?
You will find that romance almost always in every film starts with eve teasing.
Why does romance in most films start with eve teasing? Union Minister Menaka Gandhi's big question has triggered a big Bollywood debate.
If you look at films which are really have been possibly for 50 years the only way to communicate messages, I'm talking about feature films in every language in India, you will find that romance almost always in every film starts with eve teasing. The man and his friends will surround a woman, be mean to her, trip her up, show her down, abuse her, touch her inappropriately, and then slowly she falls in love.
All right, let's get your views in. We also have joining us this evening Nasir Abdullah, an actor, and also Trisha Shetty, law and women rights activist. But first up, let's go to our reporter Shalini, who is joining us from the capital. We also have Akshaya, who's joining us from Chennai. Now, Shalini, you're in the capital, where interestingly, there have been spike in crime against women cases. According to the 2015 NCRB data, around over 3 lakh cases have been reported. Conviction rate that stands at abysmally low in rape cases at 29%. So is it too simplistic of you for Union Minister to blame eve teasing and crime against women on the film fraternity?
Well, I wouldn't completely deny, it's not all the movies here she's talking about, but yes, to a large extent, movies do encourage stalking. For example, Ranjana, which was a movie of Sonam Kapoor and Dhanush, which you saw Dhanush stalk Sonam Kapoor throughout the movie, but she did not turn back and say, I love you. But yes, there was an entire stalking sequence in that entire movie, and various item numbers for that matter, whether it's a baby doll, a munni, there's another song which has about sticking your photograph with Fevicol on my heart. Now, songs like this, yes, is a little problematic. But apart from that, I'm going to put the question you asked me to these young ladies here. Do you think that eve teasing, stalking of women, all the blame entirely goes through movies? Does pop culture inspire boys in these days?
No, actually not exactly. It's all dependent on movie, because like some movie, yeah, you're right, like for example, the Ranjana, some movie, like the censor board who has to decide that some scene has to be cut up. So it's all dependent. If the censor board should take care of this, then I don't think the movie is blamed for
No, it's not about, it's about stalking a woman, or it's about saying, if we can't live together, we'll die together, and this is why crimes against women increase. So I don't see what the censor board has to do with this, because it's nothing obscene.
People perception of the people, how you perceive the movie. It's not about that censor board has to cut the scene, or you have to see what the movies are showing it.
So it's all perception of the people.
Well, what youngsters in CP have to tell me, it's about perception. It's how you look at the movie. You have to see whether you have to take it in or not. But no, movies cannot be blamed. It's more about entertainment. It's more about sitting in a cinema hall and relaxing and watching what's on your screen. Navina.
Well, be with me, Shalini and Akshay. I want to get Nasir in right now. Nasir, you've been part of the film fraternity. Do you believe film with male gaze, and increasingly so these days, are providing to be a tutorial to eve teasers to take to streets, and for them to know that nothing will be wrong? They are part of this herogiri that's portrayed in many of our...
You know, I agree with Menaka Gandhi only up to 10%. Only 10%. The real reason is that all along the growing male population has not had any education of any kind about how to deal with their women counterparts. Nothing has been done by any of the governments in the past, and now it's very convenient to find a fall guy, a soft target, which now the movie industry has actually become. It's very sad and unfortunate. They teach us how to become airline pilots. They are teaching women to become doctors and pilots and taxi drivers. They never tell us, they never tell us how to conduct ourselves. So what can the film industry do? The film industry is only going by what they've got.
Fair point, because you'll have Nirja as well. You'll have Naam Shabana as well. For every movie that's quoted as a male-gaze movie, you have movies like Nirja, Naam Shabana, very, very women-oriented movies. At the same time, Akshata, let me come to you, because what are people in Chennai feeling? Now remember, Bahubali also quoted a controversy where the lead pair, you had Prabhas and Tamanna, and there was a love-making scene that was portrayed in the film with Tamanna's character Avantika. Many people also came out and criticized that.
But Davina, it is seen that Chennai is a city that loves its movies, its actors, and tries imitating them in a certain level. And in fact, what most of these people in Chennai, film buffs, think is that this is not supposed to be the line of thought. You cannot completely blame somebody or the films that are being made in the city. I have with me two filmmakers, and let me go across to them. Surya is a senior associate with one of the most famous directors in the state. What do you think? Is this right to blame on films for the kind of eve teasing and other women's issue that happens?
See, I agree that every film actually, influence someone in some other way, either a good or bad. But this statement, I don't agree that this happens, because we have censor board which actually, blocks everything. Say, if you see someone is being eve teasing, there is a hero who is also coming and helping them. And I've seen people who actually does that here. Recently, the thing happened 6 months before. The guy out of the way went and served a girl from a rape thing. So that also happens because people watching movies and they think they are heroes and they are actually doing this.
Well, Davina, there is an influential factor there, but many people don't even give a credit on what Menaka Gandhi has said. What do you have to say? Do you think movies actually influence people in the wrong way?
No, see, movies are heavily influential, and to be honest, I have seen a few movies in the recent past that have, primarily been in and around, stalking and stuff like that. But it would be wrong to categorically say that movies influence people in a bad way. I think to say that they are completely based on only one motive, and that is, stalking or probably things of that sort, would be a very wrong generalization in my opinion.
A very wrong generalization is what people, especially filmmakers in the city, feel. This is one subject that should not be taken to a certain extent, like what Menaka Gandhi has said right now.
Okay, but when she talks about that almost every film starts with the hero eve teasing, the heroine objecting, and also there is another point of how women are portrayed in movies as well. Now, you do have women-oriented movies, as Nasir has also pointed out, but is it the norm or is it an exception? Let me go across to Vidya, who's joining us from Mumbai. She has an actor, Shaila, with her. Now, Vidya, why don't you take this question with her? That how does she feel women are portrayed, especially in Bollywood? There's been study after study. A recent UN study, in fact, pointed out how India stands at number 3 when it comes to sexual depiction of women.
I have Shaila Chadha. If you remember, Hum Aapke Hain Kaun? The girl who did not get teased was the one who was Shaila Chadha. I'll speak to her. Ma'am, in that film probably you didn't get teased, but I'm sure you've done more films, about 50 or 100 of them. In most of them, did you get teased? Did you have any shots where boys were teasing you? Do you think they actually in any way promote eve-teasing in Bollywood?
See, the entertainment industry needs drama, and because of the drama, these kind of scenes are created, which is not right. We need the entertainment, but we do not need this kind of entertainment. I somehow feel that this education of eve teasing and all this, which should not be done, should be started from homes, from schools, from colleges, wherein the women themselves learn to respect other women, and women themselves who are mothers, they should train their children, they should educate their children, saying that you respect the other women right from childhood, especially women who have sons. They should be taught that yes, a woman should be respected and not be treated like a toy for their personal joys.
Ma'am, but then the fact that yes, you said school teachers, parents, they should take the initiative, but Bollywood does have a lot of impact on the youngsters especially. But when you consider that, won't you consider the fact that eve teasing in a way, when the way it is shown, it is glorified, the fact that if you eve tease a girl, at the end kind of the girl will fall in line, she'll probably fall in love with you. If with that kind of a thing, don't you think that is promoting eve-teasing in some way, especially to youngsters, telling them that it's okay to eve-tease?
No, maybe you're right, because this has been probably happening for the past so many years, and it's been happening even in our historical and mythological, in our books and everywhere it's written, whether it's Draupadi or whether it is Sita, being kidnapped and things like that. So women have always been probably not been respected or loved the way they should be, and this change definitely will make a bigger impact if it starts from our film industry, and definitely the writers who create these kinds of subjects, they should be told also that if you want to create the drama, but create it in such a way that the respect for women is portrayed and protected. So that way everything goes in the smooth and in a proper fashion, wherein people, the next generation and the present generation, learn to respect women more.
Thank you, ma'am. So that was Shaila Chadha, who was basically saying that certainly Bollywood will have to change in some way to promote the fact that women need to be protected, the fact that they need to be
empower the content. Empower the content is what she's saying, Vidya. Absolutely. She's made two very important points. She said empower the content. She's also said it's in our literature. The mythological literature as well talks about how women are taken as a part of male gaze, and that's where we need to also educate our society. But Trisha, let me come to you. Is it easier said than done? Because at the moment you do have comments like actor Neha Dhupia said only sex and Shah Rukh Khan sell. There is no denying the item number trend that we had seen, which is also part of how women are being demeaned in the films. Eve-teasing is one concept that Menaka Gandhi has talked about. But on the other side, can we have laws? Can we have regulation over content, and that too by the center?
Look, the hegemonies of masculinity that has manifested itself in Bollywood, we often see narratives of, either the hero will play the rescue and be rescuing a woman, or he is stalking her and harassing her. Both the narratives are extremely problematic, because what that does, it takes away an agency from a woman where she needs to be rescued or she needs to be pursued. Her consent is deemed irrelevant. And the reason why I stress on these things is because then we look at the laws that we have in place. Marital rape is not a crime in India, because again it goes back to, if you're betrothed to the man, if he's married to you, then of course you have to consent to him. Consent is invalid in that context. Coming back to the laws against, stalking, according to the NCRB 2015 statistics, there were about 6,600 cases of stalking reported, and these are just reported statistics. We know that, even though we have laws in place against eve-teasing, which is 509 and 292, and it's 3 years mandate punishment, our judiciary needs an overhaul. There is just extreme under-reporting. Cases are not filed through. It takes about 2 to 3 years of pendency for the cases to go through, and get justice. So right now, it's not okay to only blame the film industry, but having said that, I do think the film industry needs to embrace this sense of onus and collective sense of responsibility, and understand that if you look at any studies and statistics, what changes culture, what sets trends is, the industry. Popular media needs to take onus.
No, but Trisha, here is also the point. When you talk about stalking, there's a rise in cases. It's been about 33% according to the latest NCRB data of 2015. But conviction has been 29%. So shouldn't the focus also be in stringent rules and regulations, speedier trial, and also speedier justice for the victims who are dealing with it in real life, than blame it just on the films? And that's where, Nasir, I want to take this question with you, because we just heard Shaila saying that, entertainment industry is all about drama. It is depiction of an alternate reality. It is for entertainment, as they call it, and it's the need of the hour is not to blame the film industry, because till what extent can you regulate? If you also talk about CBFC chairman, The Lipstick Under My Burqa was a women empowerment film, which still hasn't been given a green signal. So isn't there is a double speak that's exposed from Menaka Gandhi's statement?
Yeah, look, let's get one thing very straight. The film industry, Bollywood, Hollywood, anywhere else, are not here to send a message of reformation for the people. They're there to entertain you, at best make movies about great things that happen, freedom movement, etc. Airlift, Nirja, great films have been made. This is the responsibility of the government to ensure that stuff like that, which is actually depicted, it doesn't happen. The public is not stupid that they'll say, oh yeah, that's very good. They show violence, they show the killings, they show so much else, they show drug smuggling. Okay, I mean, Will you ban everything out? What I think the government should first do is stop actually putting the statutory warning about smoking every time a person happens to smoke in a movie. Smoking is dangerous. Come on, grow up. We all know it. This is the most stupid thing that they have.
So where do you draw the line? Absolutely, Nazir. So where do you draw the line? So isn't it time also that the film industry is given special incentives if there has to be a women-empowered content that needs to be displayed by the film industry?
Absolutely.
Shouldn't they be given special incentives?
And if there's a negative, like a woman, a strong woman, be it a prostitute or a Gaane wali or a Rakhel or whatever she's doing, or a dakat like a Pulan Devi, with what you have to show, you have to show. People are mature enough to understand what is the film about, what have they learned from it. These are youngsters who get the wrong message because their fathers are MCPs and they don't learn anything from there. They should have a proper regulation. They should have education for the youngsters actually growing up. Nobody does that. They teach them how to make money, how to fly an aeroplane, but they don't teach them how to behave with their lady counterparts. That is the tragedy. And the film industry is a soft target, and we know from the past how badly they've been bullied and they've been screwed around with, and they are blamed because you need a fall guy, get the film industry. Get the film industry. Not fair at all. Not fair at all.
All right, Nasi, let me see if I can get...
The idiots and the stupid men, they react.
All right, now these are very, very strong views as well. Let me see if I can get Vidya in. Vidya is with actor Shaila. Now, Vidya, if I can get through to you at the moment. Nasir is making this point, which is very important, that look, it's an entertainment business. It is going to show various facets of life. Various characters are going to be portrayed. That doesn't mean that you have a complete ban on the content that's coming out. Instead, educate the viewer as well. Now, Shaila, who's been part of this film industry, what are her opinions on this? Is there enough women-driven content in our industry, or there needs to be more?
Shaila, if I can just put across the question that Delhi wants me to know, is that when you watch movies, for example, there's a cigarette ban that has been imposed, but has that the fact that you have a tagline which says no smoking, but has that discouraged youngsters from smoking at all? Probably not. Youngsters are still smoking as much as so putting any kind of a ban, would that sort out this entire issue of eve-teasing? Do you think that can be stopped in any way just because Bollywood can be controlled?
Well, putting a ban helps to an extent, but not totally. I feel that Bollywood can be controlled if the mind of people, because generally the subjects which are taken from the society. So like in a mohalla, if there is a girl being eve-teased or being looked down upon, the rest of the girls also, the women I would say, also do not come forward and do not say anything. Everybody just stands over there and watches, which is very sad. The men are eve-teasing, the women say, "Hamara nahi hai na." हमको क्या लेना देना? This is a very wrong attitude. We have nothing to do with it, so why should we interfere? But it can happen with anybody. So everybody should be taught this, that this should not be done. And in the films also, these kind of things should be portrayed. Making it in an entertainment form, but not as it shouldn't be boring that people don't watch.
Well, we'll have to leave it at that, Shaila.
Wherein all right, youngsters understand and learn by it.
Okay, we'll have to leave it at that, Shaila. Vidya, also Shalini and Akshaya and Nasir and Trisha, thanks for joining us. It's not a happy ending though, because unlike the movies, this is the reality. When Menaka Gandhi, the Women and Child Development Minister, says that it's the films that need to regulate content, it's responsible for eve-teasing, somewhere down the line is the centre, the government, the system also running away from its responsibility to ensure safer streets for women.